there friends, if you're new to my channel, my name's Nicole and I'm here today with a review of The Light Princess in concert at Cadogan Hall. I think it said Cadogan Hall, Cadogan Hall. I get a different answer every time I ask someone. They're always like, I don't know, but I say it this way, so we're going with Cadogan. That's what I've chosen. In any case, this past Sunday, the Light Princess in concert happened at Cadogan Hall, produced by Club 11 and by the Alex Parker Theater Company, and it was absolutely astounding. Now, I've got some notes here so I remember what to say, but I do want to start out by saying that I think that Cadogan Hall is such a beautiful venue. This is my fourth concert that I've seen there because I've been to Carrie Hope Fletcher's concert, the first West End Does, and the Railway Children concert, so my fourth this year, and I just get more and more stunned by it every time. It's got beautiful acoustics, it's a beautiful venue, it's got a really nice large lobby. I'm just a big fan of the venue. I'm also a big fan of everything that Club 11 seems to be producing, so I knew I was going to love it whenever they announced this. And I also have to say, Alex Parker is such a joy to watch conduct. Like, he gets so into the music, you can tell he's really feeling it. Honestly, anything that he's conducting, I would be happy to go see. Now, if you don't know, and I went into this knowing almost absolutely nothing about the show, but The Light Princess was a musical that was put on at the National Theater back in 2013. It did end up extending because it did really well in terms of sales. Reviews were very mixed, everything going from people who, critics who just hated it to critics who gave it 5 stars. It seemed to be a very polarizing production for everything that I read about it, but they also released a cast album in 2015, which I definitely need to be listening to now. I've got these notes here so I don't mess this up, but the music and lyrics are by Tori Amos, who's an American pop rock singer, I think. And then the book and lyrics are by Samuel Adamson, and it's based on a fairy tale by George MacDonald, which was originally published in 1867. Yeah, 1867. So that's a really interesting part of it, I think, is that it is based on this older fairy tale, but it's quite modernized. I'd say it's a very feminist fairy tale. It's a very modern, but very whimsical. So basically, The Light Princess is a story of these two warring kingdoms, these kingdoms that are at odds with each other, called, I don't want to get this wrong, Lagobel and Sealand. And Lagobel has this princess who, whenever her mother died, everyone else in the kingdom was crying, and so she decided she wasn't going to cry, but because of that, she gravity basically lost its hold on her, so she floats above the ground. And my understanding is that whenever the production was at the National, they used some really cool things to make that happen. Obviously, I was just seeing a concert staging of it. But, so she's kind of at odds with her father because she doesn't want to come back down to Earth, even though her older brother is killed and she is now the heir to the kingdom. On the other side, in Sealand, there's this prince named Digby, and his dad's like a really bad dude, he's the king, and Digby and his younger brother, seem like really good guys compared to their dad, but Digby, since his mother died, has never smiled, so he's like the solemn prince of Sealand. And it's a really interesting story. Like I said before, you can tell it's very whimsical, but it also, I think, has a lot of really interesting stuff in it about grief and how people deal with grief. I also want to note that the original production at the NT was directed by Marianne Elliott, who you might know from her work on things like, a little play called Angels in America that's currently running on Broadway, or she's about to direct Company. I'm a big fan of Marianne Elliott's work, so it makes a lot of sense that I would enjoy something that she's previously worked on. So this is a beautiful, kind of unconventional feminist fairy tale. I will say in the concert version, the plot was a bit hard to follow because obviously we weren't getting all of it. I think they were taking out some chunks of the book, and just not having the set and the full staging can be confusing at times. But I was able to follow it fairly well. It definitely helped that I read the whole plot summary on Wikipedia after seeing it before filming this video. So I think I have a better idea of what happened now. But the music is a really interesting blend of kind of musical theater sound versus a more almost like alternate pop or like alternate rock, almost at times like veering on like folk rock type sound. I could be wrong about that influence, but it's really a score that I've not heard that much other stuff like it, so I enjoyed that aspect of it. I will say it didn't have that many songs that were like stand out, super memorable, I came out humming songs, but there were a lot of them that I was like, I really want to hear that again. So I've got written down here my favorites. Gravity, obviously, is a big one. It's one of Althea, who's the princess's big numbers, and Rosalie Craig sounded amazing. Darkest Hour is a really nice one as well. Bitter Fate, which is sung by Prince Digby and his younger brother and the king, I really loved. That was probably my favorite song. Nothing More Than This is a really lovely duet between Digby and Althea, which I really enjoyed. And then The Whistleblower, I think, is what they call, there's a section where Althea's best friend Piper sings with Althea's father, King Darius, and that was just stunning, really beautiful, partially because of who was playing those characters, which I'll get into in a minute, but a really, really nice bit of the show. It's actually a lot of numbers that have a lot of narrative elements to them, so it's not, there's a handful of like solos and duets, but a lot of them have, you know, a lot of different people and the ensemble, and they're kind of moving the story along type numbers, which I actually really enjoy. So of course I want to talk about the cast. I will admit that the main reason that I bought a ticket to see the show was back whenever they announced that Rosalie Craig and Hadley Fraser were going to be doing it together. If you don't know, the two of them are married. They have a child. I love them both. They're both have been very involved with the Donmar in the past. Things like City of Angels and Committee, and Hadley was in Coriolanus. And I mean, Hadley's been in so much at the Donmar, St. Joan, that I really wanted to get to see them together in something, because obviously their names get heard in the office. So I bought the ticket, but then whenever the rest of the cast was announced, I was so happy. I want to start by talking about Gabrielle Brooks. Now, again, if you don't know because you're new to my channel, because if you've watched like even one video here, you probably already know, I intern at the Donmar Warehouse, and Gabrielle was just in our production of Way of the World, so I knew that she was an amazing actress, but I'd never heard her sing before, and oh my god, like, can the girl sing or what? She was amazing. She played Piper, who is Althea's best friend, and she's just incredible. She honestly was one of the standouts of the piece for me. Just stunning vocals and really nice acting. Like, especially in a concert version, I find some actors can struggle with that, but she really gave me a good idea of the character, even though it wasn't a full staging, and I really appreciated that. For those of you who've seen my Grinning Man review, you might remember a man named Louie Maskull, who played Grimpain in The Grinning Man. He was in this as well, playing Prince Digby's younger brother, Llewellyn? I think that's how you say that name. It's a name that I always struggle with, but I thought that he was really lovely. He wasn't in that much of it, but what he was in sounded amazing. His and Hadley's voices sounded so nice together. It was amazing. Like, I was just so pleased. They sang together in this song called Bitter Fate, which is definitely one of my favorite numbers, but I just thought that Louie's got such an incredible voice, and it was really nice to hear kind of how that contrasted and sounded really nice with Hadley's. Laura Pitt Pulford played the Falconer, which again is a very small role, but she really was stunning whenever she was singing. I've seen her name around a lot, but I'd never seen her in anything before, and I definitely am going to be keeping an eye out for anything that I can see her in before I go back to the States, because this I feel like goes for everyone who's in this, but what a voice. Okay, so you might know Trevor Dion Nicholas as the genie in Aladdin. He's played it on Broadway, he's played it here, he's playing it here right now. I think he's actually about to go back to America to play it on the tour for a while, I want to say. I think we're changing genies. But he was stunning. He played King Darius, Althea's father, and just, oh my god, it's a really interesting role because you kind of see over the course of it that he's not a bad guy. He's just been really misled and kind of downtrodden since the death of his wife and then the death of his son, and I just thought that he brought such a nice humanity to it. Again, just like Gabrielle Brooks, his acting was so nice in it, and he's just, what a voice. I want to stop saying that phrase because I think I've said it like 80 times already, but just stunning vocals. Okay, so getting into the main people, Hadley Fraser as Prince Digby. Oh my god. I have been a fan of Hadley's since I was like 15, and I saw him in the Les Mis concert, 25th anniversary concert as Grantaire, but it still is so amazing to see him live in something. I did see him in Young Frankenstein last fall. I definitely need to go see that again so I can see him again, but I just, like, he has one of the best voices I've ever heard. His voice is like being wrapped up in a warm blanket in front of a like crackling fire. I don't even know if that makes sense, but he was so astounding as Prince Digby. I think that his voice is so well suited to the role, actually, and he also brought out some lovely acting. Digby's a really interesting character. I actually found that in a lot of the show he was a lot more sympathetic than Althea, which actually I kind of enjoyed that Althea wasn't a completely likable princess, because I felt that that kind of gave it something a bit unconventional and different. But I thought Hadley was so good in the role, and it was also so nice to see him in something opposite Rosalie. Okay, so speaking of Rosalie, she played Althea back at the National, and so she was back in the role again, and Oh my god, I feel like I finally understand. I'd seen her in The Ferryman actually, but I'd never seen her in a musical before, and her voice is just stunning. Like, she's one of those actresses who it seems like she's not having to put any effort in to bring out these like astounding vocals. I'm like, oh, are you even trying? Like, but she's just so good in the role. I like that Althea comes off in the beginning almost a little bit bratty, like understandably so, because obviously she's had these bad things happen to her. But I really enjoy that she's not like a perfect, happy, wonderful, nice princess. And I thought that she brought across the acting so well, and really brought across the character, even though it was a concert staging. And I also enjoyed seeing her clapping for everyone else. Like every time there was a number that she wasn't in, she would clap at the end of it from the stage, which I just really enjoyed. I like a hype queen. But I just thought that she was fantastic. Like, it made me, actually, the whole thing really made me wish that I'd seen it at the National Theatre whenever it was on, but obviously I wasn't in the country, so not really my fault. Let me know if you were at the concert at Cadogan Hall. I'd love to hear your views on it. Also, I'd love to hear if anyone watching this saw The Light Princess whenever it was at the National. If you could tell me anything more about like how they did things there. I'm so intrigued by it. Like a lake is a big part of it. Like what did they do for that? I need to go see if I can find some production images or something because I need to know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be back next week with another video, but also you can catch me on social media and on my blog. I will leave links down below in the description box to all of those. If you want to come follow me on Instagram and Twitter, I'm actually in Edinburgh as you're watching this. I've pre-filmed and pre-scheduled it to go up because I'm in Edinburgh visiting a friend. So if you want to check out on my Instagram what I'm doing there, that would be awesome. But otherwise, if you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more theater content every week. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye! The main reason that I didn't sign up, I bought a ticket.